Hello, good afternoon. I am Gaudencio Bonisali. I'm here to share to you some comprehensive electrical installation. If you want to learn, you must be also patient. You must start from the basic. Okay. Here. Learning the basic means including the proper tools and equipment for electrical installation, as well as the measuring instruments in performing testing, measurement of the equipment. Also the basic pipe bending, this electrical plans, installation of electrical equipment, including the fire detection and alarm system, or FDAS, and then the installation of electrical outlets, switches, and other fixtures of the electrical, okay, including the electrical symbols. So we have a lot of electrical symbols together with some electronic symbols also, like this one, power panel, panel board, but this is for the lighting panels. These are for the convenience outlets. We have duplex, range outlet, special purpose outlet, weatherproof. So because not all outlets are practical to use outdoor, so you should use the weatherproof for the outdoor setting. Okay. This one also fuse. These are switches, circuit breakers, it's a battery or cell. It can be downloaded by from internet. So just to give you some bird's eye view, that you need to learn all of this, some basic electrical symbols. Also this we have this line to ground, line to neutral, also this electrical wiring color coding chart. For the green is ground, or used for grounding the electrical circuit. Black color wires are hot wire and carry electricity from the breaker into the source. Gray and white colored wires are neutral wire and takes unused electricity current, which is sent back to the breakers for the main breaker panel. The yellow colored wires are used as switches legs, to structural lighting outlets paired with light switch and ceiling fans. The blue colored wires are mostly used as travelers. If we are using these three-way switches, four-way switches, so these are used for travelers, because in stairway lamp installation there is a common line and then travelers, and then line 1, line 2 for the power supply. Red color wires are secondary live wires in 220-volt circuit, mostly used for switch wiring and between smoke detectors that are hardwired into the electrical circuits. So, and we also have to consider the standard in every region. Let's say you are in the United States, you have to consider, you have to utilize the NEC, or National Electrical Code, that was used in United States Also in the International Electrical Code used in United Kingdom and Europe, and the Canadian Electrical Code that was used in Canada. So see, there are difference, like this neutral line. See, on the European only blue, on the Canadian they are white, but in United States are gray and white. So also we have to follow electrical layout estimate, the maximum number of wires in a conduit. This is the also box fill or conduit fill chart, and also the computation or calculation of the volume allowance required per conductor. Let's say you are going to use the size 14 electrical wires. Its volume allowance should be 32.8 cubic centimeter or 2. If that size 12 for the convenience outlet, usually size 14 is for the lighting outlet, size 12 is for the convenience outlet. The allowance is 36.9 cubic centimeter and 2.25 inches, cubic inches volume allowance per conductor. Let's say in one junction box you put 12 conductors. You multiply this by 2 cubic inches, so you can get the volume allowance. Let's see, like this, no? Let's say you are going to utilize size 14 or size 12 for the lightings, and then you are going to use yes, let's say you put 12 electrical wires, but then you use the wrong size of junction box. Let's say you use only 4x2 and 1/8 round octagonal wires. How many is allowed only for the size 12? Let's say here use the 4 and 2 and 1/8. You only allowed 9, so your octagonal junction box is undersized. What you will do, then replace with the bigger square junction box. Instead of 4 and 2.5 or 1/8, replace with square, bigger one. Let's say this 4 and 11/16 by 2 and 1/8. It can accommodate 13. Let's say even size 2 and 1/8, size 13. Instead of round or octagonal box that it has only allowed 9, but you installed 12 individual conductors, so it's not allowed to use this octagonal. You must use square box. Let's say 4x2 and 1/8 square box. So the volume is 30.3, because if you use only octagonal, it only has 21.5, and the allowable capacity is only 9, whereas your wire installed in the junction box is 12. So you must not use octagonal box, you must use square box that it has a capacity of 13 individual conductors. Now if you are going to use size 14 for the lightings, let's say you have installed 15 for for the device box or utility box. the size is 3 by 2 by 1/4 you use, and then you have 7 wires, individual wires in your device box or junction box, utility box, whereas the capacity of this 3 by 2 by 1/2 is only 3, so it's undersized. You must replace this box with a bigger size. Let's say you have 7, then you must use 3 by 2 by 2 and 3/4. It has a 7 capacity, or bigger, 3 by 2 by 3.5. It has a 9 individual conducting torch capacity. So, because if you neglect to follow or intentionally disobey the standard, tendency there may be a short circuit, arcing, or a fire. See, like this, on the standard method for determining adequate box size. First, calculate the total box volume and then subtract the total box fill to ensure compliance. So for standard 3.5 by 2 inches by 3.5 device or box, in the NEC table 314.16a, it shows minimum permitted box volume to be 18 cubic inch and allows up to a maximum of 9 14 American wire gauge conductors. So let's say we count the box, the wire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here you only have 8. So since the box is having a maximum capacity of 14 wires, so you follow the standard because you are using this size of utility box or device box. Here also you just calculate. This is the computation. Let's say you use 12 pieces or 12 individual conductors, size 14. Size 14, it has 2 cubic inches. Let's go back on the what is the what do you call this, size 14. It has a 2 cubic inches volume allowance per conductor. If it is size 12, 2.25. Okay, we go back again here. Say size 14, 12 pieces, so 2 times 12, 2 cubic inch per size 14 times 12 equals 24 cubic inches. Then you have 1 cubic inches for the ground conductor, so 2 cubic inches you add, so it will be 26 cubic inches. You are going to use, if you use 4 by 4 by 1.5, it's only 21 cubic inches. So this is undersized. You must not use this because the total is 26. If we go to the standard, say size 14, only the biggest is 4 and 11/16 by 2 and 1/8 square. The cubic inch capacity is 42. Now let's say you already installed the junction box, and you have to connect all wirings. Make sure you have adequate allowance for splicing, because I have suggestion here. Let's say here, in Article 334.30 states that cable coming out of the junction box should be secured within 12 inches of the box. These clamps are not to be removed. Let's say here, do you count the wire nuts in box fill? No, because according to the standard, lock nuts, bushings, wire connectors like this, wire connectors and other things are not counted in box fill calculations. So you are going to count only the individual conductors. Okay, and fixtures. Here, you think this is allowed? No, this one also it's overfill tendency. There's a fire. Even this one, let's say you have junction box and you have conduit, 6 conduits. Each conduit contains 4 individual conductors, so 4 times 6, 24. Whereas on the standard, let's say you are going to use square box, 4x4 by 2 and 1/8, you only have 13 if you are going to use 12, size 12 of wire. Let's say you use the bigger one, 4 by 1/16, 11/16, 11 and 4 by 4 11/16 by 2 and 1/8 square box. You are only allowed 21. No? So you are overfilling the junction box and you are endangering the occupant if you insist to install like that, like this. Even this one is not allowed. So let's say no other option. What will happen? If you insist this one, there will be a fire because overheating might occur. So let's say you install like this. No other option but to install in this one particular focal point, because you already installed the junction conduits and the wiring. To prevent violation, you have to add extension ring, a box like this one. This if you are going to utilize utility box or device box and it is not enough for the lighting outlet, then you cut this portion. You cut this portion to make a ring. If you are going to utilize junction box or round box and it is not enough, then you cut this portion, or the square box, you cut this portion. So you can make this is a ring, no? Ring. You can add the capacity. You can increase the capacity of junction box within the same focal point, within the same area. I'll show you in actual like this, no? See this one. You just make use the hole saw and then use the pipe connector, pipe fittings or bushing. Then if you don't have a screw or bolts, use the cable tie. This one, no? For the square box. Now let's say your junction box is not enough, you make like this, like this. Okay, you just use a screw, see, use the hole saw, then put on top of the another junction box or round box, then put a screw here, like this one. Even though you are connecting all what do you call this, let's say all PVC conduit are already connected here, if you use the extension ring, you can increase the capacity of the junction box even it is in the same position or the same area, but make sure you have adequate allowance of extended wires for the splicing, wire splicing or wire connection. No. Same as on the utility box, like this, no? Like this one, you extend. Let's say this you don't have hole saw, problem, no? You don't have hole saw, you cannot create fabricate like this, then use another junction box the same, put use this pipe connector or bushing, put side by side, connect side by side to increase the capacity of the junction box in the same area. Let's say it is inside ceiling or concealed, so you increase the capacity of the junction box. Let's say on this junction box or a square box, you don't have also, same thing, you do like this, side by side connected using the screw. See this is a screw. Make sure you cut the excess so it will not cause injury. You just cut this one also. Same thing with the utility box or device box. Just connect using the pipe connector or bushing. Okay, this one is a lock nut. If you don't have a lock nut like this, then you use the screw or bolt. you must think outside the box. You must be resourceful. Because one thing we can ask, is this allowed or not? Does extension ring is allowed like this or like this? Is this allowed or not? I guess on the standard it doesn't prohibit this. Let's read the NEC or National Electrical Code 314. See? It says here, not more than one extension ring may be used on the outlet boxes unless special permission has been obtained from the electrical inspector having jurisdiction. Boxes or conduit bodies, boxes or conduit bodies shall be installed at its opening splice of at its opening splice of connection except as provided in Article 60 edition National Electrical Code, first version printed 2022. So meaning this is allowed. Not more than one extension ring may be used. But it says here, unless special permission has been obtained from the electrical inspector. So if you are friendly or best friend of the inspector, maybe he will give you permission. I'm just kidding. But it might happen. Here also, I have something to tell you. Here. If you notice here, this is a device box or a utility box. If you are going to use conduit connector or pipe connector to secure it using the lock nut. But tendency, if you notice here, see the angle of this screw point is already going outward, whereas it is not yet fully tightened. See, it's already hitting the lock nut. So tendency this will be broken and become useless. So what is your solution? What is our solution? You have to think outside the box again. Then I suggest you have to fabricate this blind connector. I call it blind connector. Let's use this one. Sorry. Let's disconnect first this one. For me to show you the advantage of this blind connector. See, this is only fabricated. I call this blind connector. You just expose it into blowtorch, then when it is softened, then make like this. Make sure it is longer. After making this one, then you cut, shorten, and then put this inside. Put this inside, and then connect the hub of the conduit, PVC conduit. So what is the advantage of this? Advantage of this is that it will help you to fix thoroughly the device or switches or outlets. See, the screw can go through without obstructing or obstruction, because this is a blind connector. I call it blind connector. Whereas if you use the conduit connector, you cannot thoroughly tighten. See, it is already on the sideway. See, you notice this one already going out, the screw point. Tendency it will be damaged or cut loose. So there is advantage and disadvantage between these two. Advantage of this, quick connect, easy to connect, no? Disadvantage of this, you are going to buy additional budget for the wiring installation. This one is cheaper. You just cut a PVC, expose to the blowtorch, then fabricate the blind connector. Disadvantage, it takes time, no? But the advantage of this is that you can have maximum box fill, whereas if you use the conduit connector, it will reduce the box fill, because this one make cause obstruction of the wiring. Let's say you have 8 individual conductors, and then you install the switch. It will cause obstruction, unlike this blind connector. I hope someday the fabricator, the manufacturer, there is a manufacturer of this blind connector, and then you see this one, you can use the over the top or side by side. See this one. This one is over the top. This is sideways. Side by side, over the top. This one. Same thing with this square box, side by side, and then this one is over the top. But there's advantage if you have a hole saw, much better like this. It was only in one focal point. Whereas if you use this one, even you don't have hole saw, you can still extend the square box, but you have to use screw or cable tie. You can use, no? And this one also, no? Over the top for the junction box, you use the hole saw and then screw, put the screw, That's why when buying the extra junction box or utility box or square box, make sure the screw are available. If you buy extension or junction box or utility box, device box, if this is not available, better replace. You ask junction box with a screw available, because it is included on the price of this. I hope I contribute basic knowledge that might help us electricians, our electricians out there. I'm sure there are lots of master electricians that before they become master electricians, they have already experienced or encountered a lot of problems. This is only a basics, no? Some of this, like this line-to-line connection here in Philippines. In particular, in my place, we are using line-to-line. One line is to 110, another line is 110, so it has a 220. On the other town, they are using line to neutral. No? One line is hot wire or live wire, 220 volts, and the other one is neutral, 0 volts. So, but for safety reason, make sure that the hot wire to 20 volts are connected to the switch before the lighting, and the neutral line 0 volts is connected to the ground side of the bulb or receptacle. So, on our we have this series type of circuit. We have parallel, series, and parallel circuit. It has an advantage and disadvantage also. We have to learn also how to read the electrical plans. That's why it is very important to know the electrical symbols, because in electrical plan they are not using they are not writing all the names of the electrical components. They just use a symbol, like this one. They are outlets. Here are switches. This one are lamps. So in a series circuit, if one bulb, let's say in the middle, busted, failures affects all devices or bulbs. Unlike parallel circuit, even middle bulb busted, or even on the other side or on the last one busted, it does not affect all devices. Here we have I call it, if the switch is connected, we call it closed circuit, even on the parallel. If it is connected, the switch is connected, it is closed circuit. But if it is disconnected or off, this is switch on, this is switch off, meaning open circuit, because it is already open or disconnected. Same thing with the parallel circuit. If this one, the hot wire or live wire, connect on the other line, it will be short circuit, whether it is series circuit or parallel circuit. This is a basic single line diagram that every electrician, should know also. This circuit breaker that was mentioned already in our electrical symbols. We have a bulb A, bulb B, bulb C, bulb D. And this black line, I just use black line. This and this junction box. All black lines represent as a conduit, electrical conduits, whether it is size 11 or size 3/4. 1/2 or 3/4. Depends on the capacity of the size of or the number of wires. This slash represents the number of individual conductors. Let's say here, it has only the maximum of 2 here. So you can use size 1/2 PVC conduit, because it has a minimum number of wires. See, 2, 2, 3, 3. 2. whereas in this portion it has 7 individual conductors, so it's quite difficult if the distance of this junction box is very far, no? Very long, so it's quite difficult to use size 1/2 conduit. Better make it 3/4 size, so it can accommodate easily the electrical wires. Let's say this is 7 wires. Now, bulb A is controlled by 2 3-way switch A here and here. Bulb B is controlled by switch B. Bulb B controlled by switch B here. And then bulb C is controlled by 2 3-way switch C here and here. And bulb D controlled by switch D here. So let's say you were asked to install or connect all electrical wirings. If you are a beginner, it's quite difficult to install like this, especially if the electrical wire available is only black or blue. It's quite difficult to trace what is the line 1, line 2 on this side. Here it's A, entry point, but here it's quite difficult. Where does it go? Whereas if you use the color-coded electrical wires, it's quite easy to connect the electrical wires and easy to trace. See, that's why I recommend using the electrical wires or color-coded electrical wires to make it easier. Like here, no? Previously here, this conductors for the bulb D is connected here also. So where it was now, you have to do very tight, no? Whereas if you use the color coded, you can see easily, it goes there, no? Like this one. Here you are going to trace where this line goes. It quite takes time, no? But if you are using color coded, very easy. Here one, very easy. And on the electrical code here also, I just want to remind you, if you notice like this is connected wire. If it is crossing only without dotted line and that no, wire is not connected, like this. It's crossing on this line, so it is connected here only. Same thing here, no, the blue for the switch B. This is a line 2 for the switch B. So where does it go? It goes here and goes straight, and then the other line connected to line 1, so you can turn on. Okay. This lamp usually used in stairway wiring connection. If you are well experienced, it's quite easy to install this 3-way switch controlling the lamp in 2 different locations. But if you don't know the basic, it will be difficult for you. It will be difficult. So better learn the basic first. What are these? What are the basic? Schematic diagram. We go back to schematic diagram. So this is a 3-way switch. 3-way switch. The line 1 goes to the common terminal, and this 1 and 3 is the traveler. 0 is the common. On the another switch, 1 and 3 is the traveler, 0 is the common. So it goes like this. Okay, because if you, let's say you arrive in your house and you have a three-way switch, electrical wiring connection. If it is dark, you can turn on here, so lights goes on. Once you climb up, you can turn off here. Will turn off. Once your wife or relatives arrive at home, she can turn on here. So that is the advantage of this having three-way switch on a stairway. Okay. So this will be very easy now. This is a pictorial diagram. This one is the schematic diagram. Okay, for the three-way switch. Now, like this, no. If you notice here on the three-way switch, there are two three-way switches. This is the traveler. The problem now, you don't have enough electrical wires color-coded like this, red wire or black wire. Let's say it is already installed. To make it easier to distinguish, this is traveler also, because line 2 is black also, no? So to make sure this is a traveler also, for quick distinction and troubleshooting, wrap it with the electric tape, like that. So because traveler, it can be interchanged, no problem. It doesn't cause a short circuit. But the traveler should not be put into the common line. Or the common line put into traveler. No. Traveler wiring should be on the traveler terminal. The common lines should be connected to the common wire. This is the actual pictures of the three-way switch. At the back, we have common line or common terminal number 0, and then 1, 3. For the traveler. Usually they are used in the 2-story building or 3-story building. If you have a 3-story building, then you must use the 4-way switch. By the way, in here in Philippines, the 3-way switch, we call it 3-way switch. 4-way switch, we call it 4-way switch. Whereas in Europe, in the European standard, this 3-way switch, they call it 2-way switch. And the 4-way switch, they call it intermediate switch. So that is the difference, no? So if you are in the if you applied electrician in abroad, or particular in Europe, you must follow their standard, even the terminology of the electrical components and the standard rules. In the European standard, they are using ground line or ground wire, no? Green. Sometimes in the United States, the ground wire is bare, no? There's no insulation in US standard, but in European standard, the ground wire is coated with or insulated with the green color. But here in Philippines, usually we are using only 2 wires, no? Line to line. Yeah, for the 3-way switch, no? And here, this is for the stairway, controlling the lamp in 3 different locations using the 2 3-way switch and 1 4-way switch. As I have said, in European standard, this 3-way switch they call it 2-way switch, and that 4-way switch they call it intermediate switch because it is intermediating. It's in the middle, intermediate. So input of 3-way switch is on the line 1, 1 and 3, and then output 4 and 2. Do not install the traveler 1 and 4 and 3 and 2. No, should be 1 3 4 2, like that. And the 3-way switch common is 0, traveler is 1 and 3. It can be interchanged, but on the 4-way switch, be careful, So on the picture, it's quite easy. It looks good, but no. But if you don't know the basic, problem. Tendency short circuit. Okay, I hope I give you some basic tips, because if you learn the basic, you can install a 3-way switch. Let's say this is your house. Once you turn on, you can climb up. Then if it's dark, you can turn on, and you can climb again to the 3rd story. Okay, I hope you enjoy and learn some I would say advice. It's just a suggestion, because the standard is already there. There are a lot of available electrical applications or electrical apps you can download to enhance your knowledge regarding electrical installation and maintenance. I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much for listening. Sorry for my English, because my education was cut short due to earning a living at an early age. Okay. Have a good day. Stay safe.